Okay, final check on this very nice Tuesday.
Clear and cool tonight, down to 42. Some areas will be in the upper 30s.
It'll be chilly. All right, that's our time.
Evening News is next.
A private jet has careened into an apartment building. A number of people have been killed. Also tonight, prosecutors say they've arrested hackers who pulled off the biggest theft ever of American consumers' financial information. She lost an Olympic medal to 2 Russians who are now accused in a massive doping scandal.
At the end of the day, they're thieves.
And 150 years later, the story of the man who sent Alice into Wonderland.
He's an elusive figure. He's like a blob of mercury.
This is the CBS Evening News with Scott Pelley.
We start with breaking news tonight. Late this afternoon, a business jet clipped utility wires and crashed into an apartment building in Akron, Ohio. That building and an adjacent home were engulfed in flames. Police say best they can tell, no one was inside either building, but survivors from the plane are unlikely. We're going to go to our transportation correspondent, Chris Van Cleve, who's following this. Chris?
Scott, local police say it was a twin-engine Hawker business jet that went down. At least 2 people on board are dead, and that number is expected to rise. There are reports up to 9 people may have been traveling on that small plane. Investigators say no one on the ground was hurt when the plane crashed a little before 3 p.m. as it approached the city's airport. Witnesses saw the crash.
And landed on the apartment building, and it just blew up, and it just sounded like gunfire going off, like ammunition just keep going off.
Everything was gone. Looked like a bomb exploded. Just there was no plane, no buildings. All the cars were on fire, and it looked like the second apartment building was like a big dollhouse. Somebody cut it in half.
The NTSB and FAA are sending investigators to the scene. Scott, at this point, there's no word on the cause.
And the weather there at the time was light drizzle and light winds. Chris, thank you very much. In another important story tonight, it was an ingenious crime. 3 men have been indicted in the biggest theft ever of customer financial information. Federal prosecutors say the hackers broke into institutions including J.P. Morgan Chase, Dow Jones, and Scottrade. More than 100 million customers' personal information was stolen and then used against them. More now from Jeff Pegues.
By any measure, the data breaches at these firms were breathtaking in scope and in size.
U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara says the scheme affected 83 million customers at J.P. Morgan alone. According to court documents, the alleged mastermind, Israeli Gary Shalom, and 2 other men used hacking software to break into the accounts of customers. They then used that information to carry out the cyber version of a classic stock scheme called the pump and dump. According to prosecutors, here's how it worked. Over 3 years, the hackers bought penny stocks and drove up their prices. They then sent spam emails to the customers whose data was stolen, encouraging them to buy those stocks. When the prices went up, the suspects cashed out, leaving investors with significant losses. It worked so well, Shalom allegedly bragged about it in emails contained in the court papers. When asked by an accomplice if it was easy to get Americans to buy stocks, he replied, "It's like drinking freaking vodka in Russia."
The investigation essentially started with 1 victim company and 1 hack. And as we dug deeper and used all the investigative tools at our disposal, we were able to unearth the gargantuan scheme that you see in the charges unsealed today.
In addition to the stock scheme, the suspects allegedly ran illegal internet casinos that prosecutors say earned millions of dollars a month. The men then laundered the money through 75 shell companies and hid it in Swiss bank accounts using fake IDs from 17 different countries. J.P. Morgan says it is cooperating with law enforcement. Scott, as for the suspects, according to federal records, they have not yet hired attorneys, but 2 are in custody in Israel, awaiting extradition. A 3rd suspect, an American, is still on the run.
Jeff Pegues in the Washington newsroom tonight. Jeff, thank you. Well, the stakes are high in tonight's Republican debate in Milwaukee. There will be 8 candidates on stage, but the frontrunners, Trump and Carson, are tied in national polls. Major Garrett has a preview.
Ohio Governor John Kasich crashed the Milwaukee Bucks practice court to shoot baskets and appear unconcerned about the rigors of tonight's debate.
I've gone into a lot of places and fixed things, created jobs, went from deficits to surpluses, and that's what it's all about, raising people up. So I just have to keep telling people that because most people still don't know me. And at the end, we want somebody who can land the plane, not somebody who just talks about it.
Ben Carson and Donald Trump will occupy center stage. Carson has been fighting back against claims he's exaggerated certain stories in his autobiography. Trump has gone on the attack.
This is the only election in history where you're better off if you stab somebody. What are we coming to?
Jeb Bush, running fifth nationally, has promised more energy tonight after attacks against Marco Rubio in the last debate fell flat. To preempt those hits, Rubio's campaign released a reel of Bush praising his former protege.
I'm a huge Marco fan.
So proud of his high voltage energy. I'm so proud of his enthusiasm. I'm so proud of his eloquence.
For the first time, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie will not make the primetime stage, demoted due to low national poll numbers. Do you feel relegated in the second debate?
Well, listen, I don't prefer it, but the fact is that I've got a stage, a podium, a microphone, and cameras. I'll do just fine. I've never had trouble getting attention in my life, and I won't have any trouble getting attention tonight.
The campaigns know a holiday lull is coming and opportunities to shake up the race are dwindling. That makes the stakes for Carson and Trump as high as ever. Scott, those chasing the frontrunners need breakout moments to prove this GOP field will not be left to political novices.
Major Garrett, thanks. So that's the Republicans tonight. The Democrats will debate Saturday on CBS beginning at 9 Eastern, a debate moderated by John Dickerson of Face the Nation. Today, the World Anti-Doping Agency suspended Russia's sports drug testing lab, and the head of the lab resigned. The Russian government is accused of helping its Olympic track and field athletes cheat and then destroyed the evidence. Moscow called it an old problem that was solved long ago. Elizabeth Palmer is looking into this.
It's Savinova of Russia who wins.
Maria Savinova, who won gold at the London Olympics, is just one of 10 Russian sports figures the report says should be banned for life. But that's cold comfort to America's Alicia Montano, who was pushed out of Olympic medal contention by 2 Russians.
At the end of the day, they're thieves. You know, it's a criminal act, you know, and I would tell them all of the things that they stole from me that they cannot replace.
A year ago, a German TV documentary rocked the sports world. Here, Yulia Stepanova, a Russian runner turned whistleblower, puts on a hidden camera to film her coach dishing out steroids. This was the starting point for the World Anti-Doping Agency's investigation, which has concluded that the Russians were not only systematically doping, but bribing officials to conceal test results and using secret agents to monitor the lab work. These are modern echoes of Soviet times, when winning on the world stage was in part a political victory. And that's still the case. President Vladimir Putin, leading by example, has put sport front and center of his campaign to boost Russia's prestige. The 2014 Winter Olympics in Sochi, remember, were the most expensive in history. And guess which country got the most medals? But from glory to disgrace. Now some of Russia's athletes actually face being barred from next summer's Olympic Games.
That's what the head of the doping agency described as the nuclear option, Scott. But he said threatening a ban may be the only way to get the Russians to clean up their act.
Liz Palmer in the London newsroom tonight. Liz, thanks. We're expecting severe weather in the nation's midsection tomorrow. At least 60 million Americans could be in harm's way. Eric Fisher is our chief meteorologist at WBZ, our CBS station in Boston. Eric, what's coming?
Well, Scott, this Veterans Day, a storm that's going to be bringing not just severe weather, but even snowfall. That same snow that was falling across the Sierra last night. Strong disturbance that's swinging across the Rockies, meeting up with a warm and moist feed of air. The result here will be a very potent and very fast-moving storm that'll be racing its way up toward the Great Lakes by tomorrow night. Start with the severe side of the storm. Anywhere from northeast Texas, we're reaching up into the Midwest. In particular, this area from Kansas City to St. Louis, southern parts of Iowa and into Illinois. This is where we could see some damaging wind gusts and even several tornadoes for tomorrow. On the wintry side of all of this, we're looking at the Rockies and heading out into the plains. Blizzard warnings here, not just for a snowfall, but the blowing and drifting snow that will cause some treacherous travel conditions on Interstate 70 and 76. So tomorrow morning, that snow flying in Denver, the storm moving out into the plains, and then the strong storms tomorrow afternoon. And Scott, all around this system, a lot of strong winds that could lead to additional travel disruptions.
Eric Fisher from the great WBZ. Thanks, Eric. Today, the University of Missouri appointed a vice chancellor for inclusion, diversity, and equity. It was yesterday that the president and chancellor resigned after protests over their handling of racial issues. The football team, which threatened to boycott Saturday's game, returned to practice today. Today, New York became the first state in the nation to adopt a sweeping increase in the minimum wage for public employees. Governor Andrew Cuomo signed the order raising the minimum for state government workers from $8.75 an hour to $15 starting in 2018. This was also the day that minimum wage protests were organized around the country. And here's Ben Tracy.
What do we want? What do we want? Protesters took over a McDonald's in downtown Los Angeles, demanding a $15 per hour federal minimum wage. Chantel Williams has worked at Taco Bell for 9 years and makes $9 an hour, the minimum wage in LA County. She's a single mother of 2 young boys.
How hard is it to live on $9 an hour?
It's very difficult. You can't even make it. I have to turn to government assistance for help, basically for Medi-Cal, food stamps, to help be able to pay rent and provide food for my family, of course.
At 40 hours a week, Williams would make less than $19,000 per year. Government guidelines say a family of 3 like hers needs to make more than $20,000 to live above the poverty line. A minimum wage of $15 an hour would mean Williams could earn about $31,000. But some business owners say low-wage fast food jobs are not meant to be lifelong employment, and a 67% increase in the minimum wage will mean job cuts. Stuart Waldman leads a business advocacy group in California.
A lot of businesses are scared. A $1 an hour increase for a full-time employee will end up costing each employer actually about $2,500 per employee, so that's pretty significant.
Many cities and states have already raised their minimum wage above the federal level. Here in Los Angeles, it will go from $9 an hour to $15 by 2020. And Scott, that will be a big change for the fast food workers here in LA.
Thanks, Ben. A revolutionary high school is turning failing students into college graduates. New rules will change the way kids play soccer. And a speeding car takes aim at an officer. When the CBS Evening News continues.
Did you notice that there's so many prices out there for the exact same room? I know. I've been asking this a lot lately, but this is what it really means. The same hotel room can have up to 10 different prices across the internet. So even if you spend a lot of time looking around, chances are that it's still out there for a better price. So make one last check before you book. The Trivago check. Trivago compares prices from over 150 websites to make sure you find your ideal hotel for the best price. Hotel Trivago.
When a moment spontaneously turns romantic, why pause to take a pill? And why stop what you're doing to find a bathroom? Cialis for daily use is the only daily tablet approved to treat erectile dysfunction, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right. Plus, Cialis treats the frustrating urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use. Insurance coverage has expanded nationally, and you may now be covered. Contact your health plan for the latest information.
If you have high blood pressure like I do, many cold medicines may raise your blood pressure. That's why there's Coricidin HBP. It relieves cold symptoms without raising blood pressure. So look for powerful cold medicine with the heart. Coricidin HBP.
Salonpas salutes you. People working hard to improve the world. You inspired us to improve these. Salonpas pain relieving patches. 20% larger with better adhesion and more medicine to fight pain than ever before. Salonpas, the patch you love, improved.
Recently, we were talking in the newsroom about how surprised we were that nearly 60% of American students who took the SAT this year were found to be unprepared for college. 60%. So we wanted to find a school that's beating the odds and show everybody how they do it. That's what took Elaine Quijano to a high school called P-Tech, short for Pathways to Technology.
It may look like a traditional high school, but from the moment students like Shadon Brown enter these classrooms in Brooklyn, the expectations are different.
I got my high school diploma and a two-year associate's degree by the time I was 16.
It's called P-Tech, a high school which opened in 2011. Students can earn a diploma and associate's degree in 6 years, but it's not easy. A third of the freshmen arrive unprepared for basic high school math or English. Principal Rashid Davis.
It really becomes different when you have the students sitting in front of you at a 3rd grade level and you need them to read a 9th grade text. We're honest about where students are, but we know that where they are is only temporary.
Step 3, type features. It's an intense schedule. In year 1, teachers focus on improving students' weakest areas. The school day is 8:30 to 4 p.m., 2 hours longer than most schools. There are before and after school study sessions and 6 weeks of summer classes. By year 4, the results show 74% of P-Tech students have met college readiness standards, compared to 39% statewide.
The longer that we can keep them included in this new culture that we're creating, the better chances they'll have to be successful.
P-Tech is in the heart of Crown Heights, a part of Brooklyn where more than 25% live in poverty. The school is a public-private partnership between the New York Department of Education, the City University of New York, and IBM. The tech company helps shape the curriculum to teach skills that are in demand in the workplace, and graduates are first in line for available jobs. IBM Vice President Stan Litow.
This isn't about feeling good in philanthropy. I don't think that there is a problem more significant standing in the way of U.S. competitiveness than closing the skills gap. And this gets right at that core problem.
18-year-old Radcliffe Sadler is a P-Tech grad now working at IBM, making more than $50,000 a year.
3 months ago, I was a high school student. Now I'm working at a Fortune 500 company.
How high are the stakes for you here at P-Tech?
The stakes are generation changing. We're talking about more than 50% of young men of color being unemployed. So we're talking about saving lives.
With 85 additional P-Tech schools being planned around the country, educators hope to save thousands more lives. Elaine Quijano, CBS News, Brooklyn, New York.
More time in the classroom. There was a big change announced today in youth soccer. The national governing body, U.S. Soccer, is imposing new rules to protect against concussions. Children 10 and under will no longer be allowed to head the ball. Players between 11 to 13 will be allowed to head the ball, but only during games, not practice. This settles a lawsuit that alleged negligence in dealing with head injuries. He was a legend on the New Orleans music scene. We'll remember Alan Toussaint when we come back.
This guy from engineering says DirecTV is so advanced that you could put TVs anywhere without looking at cable wires and boxes in every room.
How are they always one step ahead of us?
Well, because their technology is far superior.
Or because they have someone on the inside Is that right, Gil?
Sir, I would never.
He's with us.
He's wearing a wire.
Take off his shirt. All right. I'm putting you in charge of the holiday party.
Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
This is Brad. His day of coaching begins with knee pain when...
Hey, Brad, want to trade the all-day relief of 2 Aleve for 6 Tylenol?
What's the catch?
There's no catch.
You want me to give up my 2 Aleve for 6 Tylenol? No. For my knee pain, nothing beats my Aleve.
Many people clean their dentures with toothpaste or plain water. And even though their dentures look clean, in reality, they're not. If a denture were to be put under a microscope, we can see all the bacteria that still exist on the denture. And that bacteria multiplies very rapidly. That's why dentists recommend cleaning with Polident every day. Polident's unique microclean formula works in just 3 minutes, killing 99.99% of odor-causing bacteria. For a cleaner, fresher, brighter denture every day.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service certified asthma and allergy friendly. It's our new standard of clean. Call about our $99 carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
Don't know much about history. Don't know much biology.
Maria.
But I do know that I love you.
There are thousands of ways into the complex healthcare system, and choosing United Healthcare can help make it simpler with our 24/7 nurse line.
If it's pink eye, it could be contagious. Oh, I know.
United Healthcare.
If you have postmenopausal osteoporosis and a high risk for fracture, I can tell you Prolia is proven to help protect bones from fracture. But the real proof? My doctor said Prolia helped my bones get stronger. Are your bones getting stronger?
Do not take Prolia if you have low blood calcium, are pregnant, are allergic to it, or take Extiva. Serious allergic reactions such as low blood pressure, trouble breathing, throat tightness, face, lip, or tongue swelling, rash, itching, or hives have happened in people taking Prolia. Tell your doctor about dental problems, as severe jawbone problems may happen, or new or unusual pain in your hip, groin, or thigh, as unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred. Prolia can cause serious side effects, including low blood calcium, serious infections, which could require hospitalization, skin problems, and severe bone, joint, or muscle pain. Only Prolia helps strengthen and protect bones with 2 shots a year.
I have proof Prolia works for me. Can it work for you? Ask your doctor about Prolia today.
A cop in Oklahoma had some close call. Matt Stacy faced down the driver of a stolen SUV. He fired 2 rounds before the SUV crashed into his cruiser. Stacy was knocked down but walked away. The driver, a 41-year-old woman, was arrested. A legend of the New Orleans music scene, Alan Toussaint, died last night.
Working in the coal mine, going down, down, down.
Toussaint collaborated with superstars including Patti LaBelle. Last night in Madrid, Spain, he performed Happiness, which he wrote for the Pointer Sisters.
I love the way you love to live. You love life.
But after the show, Toussaint suffered a heart attack and died at the age of 77. Coming up next, how one of the most enduring children's fantasies was born.
This portion of the CBS Evening News is sponsored by Pacific Life. For life insurance, annuities, and investments, choose Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed.
Our parents worked hard so that we could enjoy life's simple pleasures. Now it's our turn. I'm doing the same for my family.
Retirement and life insurance solutions from Pacific Life can help you protect what you love and grow your future with confidence. Pacific Life, helping generations of families achieve long-term financial security for over 145 years.
My constipation and belly pain have my stomach feeling all knotted up. I've tried laxatives, but my symptoms keep returning.
My constipation feels like a pile of bricks that keeps coming back.
Linzess can help. Once daily Linzess treats adults with IBS with constipation or chronic constipation. Linzess is thought to help calm pain-sensing nerves and accelerate bowel movements. Linzess helps you proactively manage your symptoms. Do not give Linzess to children under 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to 17. It may harm them. Don't take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Bottom line, ask your doctor about Linzess today.
Working on my feet all day gave me pain here.
In my knees.
But now, I step on this machine and get my number, which matches my Dr. Scholl's custom-fit orthotic inserts. Now I get immediate relief from my foot pain.
My knee pain.
Find a machine at drscholls.com.
Look, the wolf was huffing and puffing.
Like you do sometimes, Grandpa?
Well, when you have COPD, it can be hard to breathe. It can be hard to get air out, which can make it hard to get air in. So I talked to my doctor. She said,
Symbicort could help you breathe better, starting within 5 minutes. Symbicort doesn't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms. Symbicort helps provide significant improvement of your lung function. Symbicort is for COPD, including chronic bronchitis and emphysema. It should not be taken more than twice a day. Symbicort contains formoterol. Medicines like formoterol increase the risk of death from asthma problems. Symbicort may increase your risk of lung infections, osteoporosis, and some eye problems. You should tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it.
Symbicort could mean a day with better breathing. Watch out, piggies!
Symbicort. Breathe better, starting within 5 minutes. Call or go online to learn more about a free trial offer. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
When you're living with diabetes, steady is exciting. Only Glucerna has Carb Steady, clinically proven to help minimize blood sugar spikes, so you stay steady ahead.
Our News Channel 5 investigation into color runs continues with a surprise about the powders being sprayed on the participants. Be watching next at 6.
Tomorrow marks 150 years since Alice in Wonderland was published. In it, the Mad Hatter declares, "You'd have to be half mad to dream me up," which got us wondering, who did dream it up? Anthony Mason goes through the looking glass.
And curiosity often leads to trouble.
Almost from the moment 7-year-old Alice first tumbled down a rabbit hole, her adventures in Wonderland became a classic.
It's never been out of print.
It's never been out of print.
Curator Carolyn Vega of New York's J.P. Morgan Museum says it all began on a boat ride on the River Thames outside Oxford, England in 1862, when a professor told young Alice Little and her 2 sisters a wild story.
Once the boat ride was over, at the end of the day, she asked for a written copy of the story.
Author Lewis Carroll spent more than 2 years handwriting and illustrating what he first called Alice's Adventures Underground.
So this is the original manuscript.
This is the copy he presented to Alice?
Yes, it's absolutely unique.
Lewis Carroll was the pen name for Oxford mathematician Charles Dodgson.
He's an elusive figure. He's like a blob of mercury. You put your thumb on him and he just scatters.
Robert Douglas Fairhurst is author of The Story of Alice, Lewis Carroll, and the Secret History of Wonderland.
Why can't we find him?
Partly because he was so intensely private. There's one of his letters in which he says that his main aim is to remain personally unknown to the world.
But he wanted Alice to be known, and he was a shrewd marketer.
He rewrites it for young children. He puts the pictures on biscuit tins. You know, it's like modern franchising.
And when the technology arrived, Alice became a movie star.
This is the first film adaptation?
Originally, it was about 12 minutes long. At the time, in 1903, this made it the longest film yet produced in Britain.
Lewis Carroll's story gave us the Mad Hatter, the White Rabbit, and the Cheshire Cat. But most of all, says Robert Douglas Fairhurst, it's Alice who still attracts us.
She's anything we want her to be. So, although Carroll would write a story that sent her through a mirror, in some way she's become a mirror. And what happens is that she reflects ourselves.
150 years later, Alice hasn't aged a day. Anthony Mason, CBS News, New York.
And that's the CBS Evening News for tonight. For all of us at CBS News all around the world, good night.
Tonight, our News Channel 5 investigation into color runs continues with a surprise about the powders being sprayed on the participants.
It closely resembles rat poison.
Only in Music City, a ride-sharing service gives aspiring musicians an audience with Music Row executives.
It's a first to Uber and in fact, first to the world.
A New Jersey man becomes one of the biggest backers of a Mount Juliet school, and it all started with an unintended email.
Plus, a state-of-the-art new jail fails inspection. Tonight, News Channel 5 examines what needs to be changed.
From your news and information leader, this is News Channel 5 at 6.
Good evening. We begin with some breaking news.